Hello? 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 Ah, there we are. Good evening. My name is Allison White, and I do the nursery here at this church. So maybe if you don't recognize me, because I'm downstairs. So right now we are going to have these are my neighbors. This is Amanda Briggs and Rachel Briggs. And Rachel's going to be singing "O Holy Night" for us, which is part of the theme, A Thrill of Hope. And then Amanda's going to be performing Emmanuel. And this is a song that she and her sister wrote together. So we'll go ahead and have them play, and then after that, then we'll have Lacey come up. And as we're doing this, the servers will come around and clean up your plates and pass out desserts as well.
Emmanuel means God with us. My sister wrote the first two verses of this song, and then when I was having a really hard time, I wrote the third verse. Because all of us will have a point in our time where we have to come to know our Savior, Jesus Christ, as our personal Savior and the one who helps us get through whatever trial we are facing in our lives. So, Emmanuel. He was a child of royal birth, brought forth to save and bless the earth. A vibrant star appeared that night, yet paled in compare to heaven's light. So I've sought for him. Still there are days my light is dim. He paid the price, salvation's sure. If through my trials I will
Hello. Thank you, Amanda. Amanda's actually teaching my daughter Ava how to play piano. So I think she's in good hands. Actually, I had gone over to Amanda's house for her to. I told her, we were talking about this women's event. She came last year, and her whole family's super talented. And she played that song for me. And actually, we were going to have her sing a different song, and there was going to be violins and different things. But she played that. She sang that song for me, and that last. I just remember being in her house listening to that last verse of the song, and it spoke so strongly to me because, like you, there's those days that's just like, am I forgotten? But no, he sees us. He sees us in those trials, and we're being refined, So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed that. I know I did. And... did I push the right button? I'm going to ad-lib because I know Lacey. So Lacey here. So I don't know if too many know about me. My husband and I came from Capital Church, and I met Lacey there. We were in a group called MOPS, which is Mothers of Preschoolers, and it's for kids ages 0 to 4. Which, by the way, we're going to be starting one here at this church. So, Mothers of Preschoolers, MOPS, ages 0 to 4. And Lacey was on my steering team. She was my finance coordinator. So she made everything run very smoothly. But anyway, we've been friends for quite some time now. And God's just done some amazing things in her life. She's a mother of 2 little girls. She has Lily and Ava, so we both have Avas. And her husband, Mike, and they live out in Eagle Mountain. But I'm really excited for Lacey to share with you today. So here she is.
Hi. I am not really sure. I think we should just call the night after that musical number. I just think we should just pack up and just walk out the door. That was incredible. Thank you for sharing your talent. I did not get the musical talent. I'm glad we didn't sing tonight because my mom's here and it would have been bad. I am so grateful to be here tonight. Like Allison said, I have known her for about 6 years now. And I actually met Heather for the first time a couple months ago at Cafe Rio. And I want to give a big round of applause for everybody who's put so much work into tonight. The men for serving us. The tech people, Heather, for pouring so much energy into this. I know that she loves you, everybody here. Also joining me tonight are my family. My stepdad and my mom came, and one of my very good friends, Aaron. And I thought I was nervous talking to a bunch of strangers, but having my family here with cameras up is a lot more scary. I'm already sweating. But thank you for being here, Mom. I want to show you a recent picture of my family. We got this picture taken just a couple weeks ago. That's my husband and my 2 girls. I bribed my husband to take pictures. I told him it was only 15 minutes long. What he didn't know was that it was going to be in pajamas. So these are my 2 girls. Lily is our oldest. She is 6 years old. She is our blonde hair, blue-eyed, ballerina, piano player, artsy love child. She is the sweetest thing. She is the reason why we had another child, because parenting was easy with this child. And then we had Ava, my youngest, and she is fiery and intense in every sense of the word. Any adult I talk to says she's going to rule the world. And I believe it. Ava is the reason why we stopped having kids. So that's my family. Like I said, I'm very grateful to be here tonight. I do have a question for you. Who has not put up their Christmas tree yet? Anybody? Oh, good. Here, I have something for you. A little face night for you. Luckily for me, I had a minor surgery on November 22nd, so I told my husband, you either need to put it up before my surgery on November 22nd and we can enjoy it for 6 weeks, or you have to do it on your own after the 22nd. So I've got to enjoy Christmas a lot longer this season. But I don't know about you, but one of my favorite parts of the Christmas season is this time right now. Not necessarily Christmas Day, the Advent season, which is right now. December 1st, which was just this last Sunday, marked the first week of Advent. And Advent, each week we celebrate the coming and the excitement of Jesus. So this week we began week 1, and actually week 1 symbolizes hope, which actually I didn't know. So I think that this works very well with tonight's theme. Oftentimes you see a purple candle lit for the first week of Advent. It symbolizes hope, and the candle is called the prophecy candle, and it's in remembrance of the prophets who foretold the birth of Christ. It represents the expectation felt of the coming Messiah. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Luke chapter 1 and 2, we read all about Jesus' birth. We read about the star, Mary and Joseph, the journey, all things Christmas. And I love that story. But there's another part that's more exciting, I think. Jesus came after a long time of waiting, a long, long time. And that's what we want to talk about tonight. Clear back in the Old Testament, Isaiah predicted Jesus' coming. Isaiah 9:6 says, "A child is born to us, a son is given to us, and he will be our ruler. He will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Eternal Father, Prince of Peace." So Jesus showed up on the scene for the first time at Christmas, and that meant there was hope for the weary world. A thrill of hope. A weary world rejoices. So there are 3 kinds of hope that I just want to go through. In 1 Corinthians, we read, "Now these 3 remain: faith, hope, and love." I don't know about you, but I feel like I got a good grasp on faith and love. You can get technical and call them theological virtues, but in layman's terms for people like me, these are 3 qualities that make us most like God. So I want to talk about these 3 things. The first hope we want to talk about is the most common. This is the wishful kind of hope. This is examples of, I hope blank. I hope the light turns green. I hope I drive home safely. I hope that cake is really good. This is the most common of hope, that when you talk about hope, that people recognize. The second one is expectant hope, and this is just a little bit different. This is where, let's say you plant a garden, and in that garden, you hope that you're going to get vegetables. That doesn't mean that you're going to get them, but you just hope that you're going to get them. There is a reason for hoping, but that doesn't mean it's actually going to happen. And the third one, and this is the one that we're going to land on tonight, is certain hope. This is where you want to be. This is why Jesus showed up. This is the gem of biblical Jesus. This is placing your hope in Jesus. This is, you say, things are really bad right now, but I still believe. This is no wishing. This is no feeling. This is certain that things are going to work out. So, moving on to misplaced hope. A lot of times we misplace our hope into other things. In Job 8:13 we read, "Those who forget God have no hope." And we see this proof in this statement every day, right? The further we get away from God, the less hope we have. But the contrary is true, that the closer we get to God, the more hope you have. But you have to be careful not to misplace your hope into things, into situations. I've been on this path as well as you have. I hope I get a job promotion. I hope this pregnancy test is positive. I hope I get married soon. I hope so-and-so apologizes. I hope my aunt shows up this time to dinner. I hope I get the A on the test. Where does your hope lie? So, want to take a break and tell you about how I found my hope in Jesus. This is the part of the story that gets really exciting for me, and this is the part that Allison got to see firsthand. I grew up in a fairly normal, middle-class family. I have one younger brother, just a couple years younger than me. My mom would attend weekly church services while my dad stayed at home. It's pretty normal for me. He made up for lost time by spending time in the kitchen with me. He and I would cook food, and that was just normal. I learned hard work. I learned love and patience all through my teenage years. At 20, I married the neighbor boy after 6 months. At 21, I dropped out of college and started working full-time. At 22, I was a passenger in a motorcycle accident that killed the driver, and I walked away. Days after the accident, my husband decided to hand me divorce papers. At 23, my father packed up and left my family for someone else. And at 24, my brother left to serve his church. Talk about weary, right? Every year that passed, I thought, man, I hope this gets better. I hope my dad returns. I hope I can get married again. I hope I can still be loved. Let's continue. At 25, I met my husband. I actually met him at a grocery store. So, ladies, anytime you're at the grocery store and they're buying cleaning products, you want to snag them. At 26, Mike and I got married and immediately wanted a family. We were a little bit later in life, so we immediately wanted a family. At 27, we started infertility treatments. At 28, I finally got a positive pregnancy test. And at 29, we got our firstborn, Lily. Guys, this is where I thought I had arrived. I was there. Everything was great. It's what I thought was the hole in my heart. It was Lily. This was it. I placed all of my hope on having children, on having a family that I didn't have. This was going to be what quenched my thirst. But guys, it did the opposite. Postpartum was the icing of the cake of despair. The culmination of losses and insecurity that I experienced in the last 10 years had finally caught up to me. I had no hope. I had no confidence, no happiness. I was sad, and I was lost. And I did not know what I was looking for. So one day, my sister-in-law, she couldn't be here tonight, but we love her. My sister-in-law called and said, hey, you want to join a MOPS group? And I said, I don't care what it is. Yes. And like Allison said, if you don't know what MOPS is, it's short for Mothers of Preschoolers. It's a support group for moms of women in the community to find their place in the world. Now, like I said, at the time, I lived in Eagle Mountain, and I had my firstborn. So I drove in the morning from Eagle Mountain to Salt Lake City every other Monday because I needed something. I needed something more than what I was doing. And that's where I met wonderful Allison White. And I walked into the building scared of my own shadow. I handed off my 3-month-old to a stranger, a mentor mom, and I sat down with other women, other moms who had something about them, an air about them. There was freedom. There was something about how they handled themselves that I just wanted a piece of, whatever it was. The next couple years, I prayed and I read and I started asking questions. Nothing was left unturned. One night on my way home from one of my classes, I got in the car and I called another one of my MOPS friends and I said, wait a minute, wait. You're telling me that Jesus died for me? For me? It's like a light bulb went off in my soul. It seems simple but so complex at the same time. And I cried all the way home. She replied yes to me and said, God's been after your heart for a long time, Lacey. This is when I knew I had found certain hope in biblical Jesus. I was no longer about what I was doing, but what Jesus had done. So, I want to bring this around full circle. I want you to think of a time right now that you're experiencing, the season that God has placed before you. This Christmas might be a harder one for you. You might be missing a spouse, a child. You might have lost a job, feel lonely. What does it look like? And where have you placed your hope? Certain hope in Jesus is not based on probabilities or a wish. The God of hope is different. You are banking on the promises from God. And I don't know about you, but the promises of God seem a lot more amazing than what I can do for myself. God promised Jesus would come to this earth as a baby, and he did. So when he promises to fill you with hope, he will. Your quench will be thirst. Your questions will be answered. Peace and joy will fill your soul. And this is more than just a personality trait, because you know those really annoying people who are really naturally bubbly and extroverted? Yeah, I am not that. Alice and I continue to joke about how if you told the 6-year-ago Lacey that I would be standing in front of a bunch of strangers, we would have laughed. Now, I am still sweating, so I think my introverted is still coming out. But it's more than that. In biblical Jesus, you will find inward satisfaction, and it will pour out of you. You will begin to love others like Jesus loves you, and it's contagious. And people will start to say, I want what you have. It does not mean that we won't have hard times, because believe me, I still struggle with anxiety and depression in everyday life. But I can look forward to knowing that my life is certain and filled with hope in Jesus. Hope in Jesus is a soul that dwells in delight, knowing you are a daughter of God. He's just not giving you the hope. He's offering the hope for your taking. So to put a little bow on this night, I just want to read Romans 15:13. I think of this verse often because I feel like it reads like a prayer. In preparing for this night, I've had this on my mirror because just for all of us, I just want us to remember that at this Christmas time, this is why we're here. This is why we're doing this. Christmas is a remembrance to remember that Jesus came to give us the hope, to give us the weary world hope. And I love this theme tonight, Thrill of Hope, a weary world rejoices. Your weary world, try to say that, will rejoice in him. So, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. So I think we are going to turn and do a giveaway. Is that what we're doing next? Yeah.
It's okay. Thank you. This is the first time Lacey has shared her testimony. We were so I don't know, back in September, Heather, Pam, and I met at Applebee's and said, "Okay, what are we doing for this Women's Night, event for December?" And so Heather and I are like, "Okay, we need what are we gonna do for a guest speaker?" And so we're just racking our brains. And so I said, let me think on it. And I literally went through my contacts on my phone, like every single person on there. And I came across Lacey, and I thought, she's got a story to tell. And, time passed, and I hadn't reached out to her yet. And Heather contacted me, and she's like, have you talked to your friend? And I said, no, not yet. I need to talk to her. So I called Lacey on the phone, and she said, Allison, that is just so crazy. God had just laid on my heart, like, am I going to ever share my story with someone? And he had started preparing me. And so it was God ordained that she be here today and that she share her story with you. And it's so awesome, even just to see, so Pam and Heather came up with this snowflake theme, and unbeknownst to one another, I guess they didn't realize they were doing snowflakes. Well, then Lacey and her mother, part of her bio is Lacey's like an incredibly gifted quilter, as is her mother, Luana, and they like are like crazy quilters, like they go to conventions and stuff. So part of what they did for you ladies tonight, and we're gonna do a drawing. So they're gonna come around and they're gonna get your tickets. Already got them? Okay. So we have some items here, but what I wanted to say, can you two lift this and show it? We're gonna do it last, but this is what Lacey and her mother made, and the back of it is snowflakes. So God knew every part of this night was ordained. But isn't that amazing? I mean, hours of work put into this beautiful quilt. So one of you ladies gets to walk home with this tonight. You better stash it really good, because I think some of us might want to try and steal it. Okay, yeah, Heather. All right.
Yeah, I was like, when she sent me the picture of it, I was like, how can I rig this? I think I was telling one of the tables, I might rig this, but I did not give myself a ticket. So I am standing up here honest before you. And being honest, I want the blanket. So there's that. So before we do our drawing, I just wanted to, oh, no, you're okay. I just wanted to, first of all, thank our wonderful men for serving us. You guys did a wonderful job. Thank you so much. And our incredible chef, how many of you guys love the food? Eddie, wave. He'll nod. There you go. So, men, thank you so much. Eddie, thank you so much. You guys are welcome to go back to your man cave. Do whatever it is you're going to do. We're going to do more stuff out here. But thank you so much. I also want to thank Pam and Allison. This night would have not happened without them. So they are phenomenal. What you see on the table, the order of events, they are incredible. And then my awesome husband doing the tech back there and totally supportive of all my crazy ideas to try and do events and things. So anyway, and thank you all. Thanks, Pastor Dustin. And thank you all for coming. And now I'm going to drop this. Yeah, Allison's like, you're making me nervous. All right, so you all got a ticket, right? So this is the fun part of the night. You're going to draw it. So that way if nobody wins, they're mad at you, not me. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, here we go. 0. Everybody's like, oh, just kidding. All right. I think it's just going to be the last 3 we need to actually deal with. So 5, 3. I should tell you what you're winning first, actually. Oh, there we go, Pam. Well, I was just like, okay. I forgot to mention that, but there she is. Okay, so 5. The anticipation's building. They're like, get on with it. Okay, 5, 3, 1. Really? Oh! That's awesome. I have nothing to blame here. Like, I am standing with the mic, so. She would have gone for the blanket if she really rigged it. Nice, here we go. All right, and here we have another cutting board. It's really pretty. It says, taste and see that the Lord is good, and then the rest of the verse that I don't have memorized. So, number 5, 4, 7. Yay, right there. At our main campus, many of you know that we have like a main campus that we're an extension of. And we used to do this, well, they still do that event. They're doing it there tonight. But in order to claim your prize, you used to have to go, woohoo, really loud, or they wouldn't give it to you. I will not make you do that. But if you want to say woohoo, you can say woohoo. Okay, here we go. 5. Dustin, that's awesome. Okay, 5, 3, Oh, I got to tell you, I know I'm terrible. I have to tell you about this prize, though. I thought we were doing another cutting board. How many of you guys have ever heard of, I'm not going to say this right, Rodin and Fields? Oh, it is? Okay, well, this is a face set, like a face wash and complexion thing. And this set is actually really pricey. So just so you know, it's actually a really incredible gift. Kind of wanted to rig that one too, but I didn't. Okay, here we go. 5, 3, 8. Lisa, woohoo! I'll say woohoo for you. All right, now we got another cutting board. Here we go. 5, 3, 5. Oh, yay! Woohoo! All right. Well, that wraps up the night, ladies. So we're going to go ahead and pray. And did I forget something? Okay, just kidding. All right. No, for real, though. Whoever wins this, I'm going to be really happy for you. It's all Allison, too, by the way. I can genuinely say I'll be really, really happy. 5, 3. That ruined like half the room. They're like, okay. 5, 3, 0. Oh! There you go. Right? Like, I can just see it now, like cuddling up to a fire, you know, hot chocolate. Amazing. Okay. So anyway, thank you all for coming. I hope you really enjoyed your night. It really was a pleasure to have you all here, and thank you to Lacey and Amanda, and again for all of you guys just for showing. So I'm going to pray for you. You are in no hurry to leave. Feel free to talk and eat hot cocoa, drink hot cocoa. And then there's a picture wall back there with a wreath with snowflakes. So you're welcome to take pictures back there if you'd like. So yes, Dustin's going to be in the back taking Polaroids. So until they're all gone. So I think we have several cartridges. So anyway, there you go. Let's go ahead and pray. And also one last thing. If you don't have a home church and you would love to check us out, Sundays at 11 a.m., we'd love to have you. So let's go ahead and pray.